hello. Just as I go live, a fighter jet is going over my house. Is that a sign of the times? That there is a fighter jet going over my house right when I come on live. Hi, everybody. Corey Thorne, the spiritual healer, teacher, emotional spiritual consultant, and everything in between. Psychic medium, all of it. So I'm just coming in to do a quick morning live and just waiting for people to get in. But I'm listening to the waiting for the jet to go by. It's good to see the airport is up and running, but our Edmonton airport was one of the only airports to not be given international travel full reopening. Weirdly, something about that. But here we are in our daily live. Good morning, Jaden and Stacy. I'm just making sure I'm in live. Making sure I'm here. I only got a few minutes, so this is going to be very, very quick. But I wanted to get in. They're going to be very quick for the next week. As you can see by the looks of me, it's like I'm working and moving all at the same time. So, and it's beautifully warm and hot here today, and the energy is hot today. So we have a lot of. That's the little kids across the street. I can't close my window. The house is way too hot. Good morning, Tracy. Trizina, good morning. Catherine, good morning. Tanya, hi. So this is a quick live, coming in to do this very quick to kind of get in, get out, but with love, but with all of my heart and with all the love that I have to be able to be here each and every day that I can, and for your love and support. But the message that I'm coming with today is the energy is hot. For some, I feel like for some of my fire signs, it's like you're in a real good flow kind of thing. For others, it's like me, but there is a big shifty, changey kind of happen. And I was just trying to listen to, and I do listen to the Leo King often and Molly McCord. Like, I'm not an astrologer, so when I got time, I tend to go to those places, but they're very long, so it's hard to listen to everything. And you could just tell by the energy of even those who are, doing this work, that everybody has been on that front line, is just like tired and kind of like, we've been saying this all along, or we've told you so, or we've been saying this, but it's like discounted, like everything we say gets discounted. But there's a lot of good information out there, and there's a lot of information that is being tampered with personal ego, which is really hard. And I'm hoping to see that clarity starting to come through as people find their way back. But that energy, and what I've been picking up, and what I was looking at on my little sky view. So I just want to tell you this. If you're not an astrologer, but you love the sky, you love looking at the stars, you love seeing where the planets are, there is like so many apps that you can get that you can sit outside with. So last night when I'm looking, all of these planets were like in line with like your red divide line of upper and lower of the world, is kind of how I put it. It's like this whole divide, like all of these planets were all like right in the red. So they were all right in this red zone. They were all right here, and they were all looking like they were all in line, and they were going across. But it was like everything felt like it was kind of more in the underbelly of the world instead of the upper belly of the world. It's the only way I can describe it for where I am in Alberta. Now that depends on where you're located astrologically, or geographically. So there is like this lower energy, but it's not a bad energy. It's a human energy. So we have that where just the majority of the human energy operates from, of where we live in that one-dimensional, very connected to being a human being, and very much believing in the essence that we are the everything, this superior being type of energy. And what I'm being told in my mystical trainings, in everything that I'm doing, in that shaman within me that just cannot go back to sleep, that whole essence of who I am, is saying that we are not a superior as a being, not in our own heads, but as a being, as what we think we are. And I feel like it's like what we're being told is the more we are putting ourselves back out into the world, is that we're not giving any conscious thought to how we are putting ourselves back out into the world. And there's a lot of things that are happening in secret. And so you also have to remember that within you is that whatever is happening within us and everything that we've thought that has been a well-kept secret for many years in your lives, you may feel the sense that, these things are secrets are being exposed. And I've been saying this for months. For months, I keep saying, if you all these so-called secrets that we have within us are being exposed, don't mean it's all coming out to the public, but it's coming up for us. And so also our human existence and who we are as the human beings. And now here we are, the world is opening up for us. But in the meantime, the world that was doing quite well without us being all the way out there, now we're out there and we're doing things. So yesterday you see me post about you see me post about with my channel message, I seen the ships in the water, and I just seen like being a destruction to the ocean, like and I didn't know what it was for sure, but then I seen the US Navy had launched that big fucking explosive in the middle of the ocean that was like an earthquake in the water. Well, what does that do to the plant life? What does that do to the animals? What does that do to the creatures that exist within the sea? And so that whole essence of how much has to die, how much out there, including nature, including our world, has to die for us to have our life, right? And so that's where we're coming up is how many sacrifices are made for us to keep our secrets, or how many things do we, how many things are you sacrificing or denying of yourself in need to hold on to going back to the way things used to be, or to keeping something secret, or to being attached to the past. And now is the time to know, who do I need to be to move forward? Who do I want? Who do I need to become? Not who do I want? Who do I need to become? And that really truly comes in peaceful perspective, is that we've had a lot of complaining energy. We've had a lot of grumbling. We had a lot of judgment. We had a lot of choosing sides. We've had a lot of fighting. We had a lot of arguing. And I'm sorry, but some of the big apologies are not going to really work, because they're publicated, they're pre-written, they're pre-designed, and they're not authentic. So the authentic self, it is what is needed to be able to move forward. And that means our authentic self and who we are in our truth, and finding that truth and becoming that truth and living in that truth, which is everything that I've been teaching ever since this pandemic started in More Than Existing, which is 4 levels to that whole sense of self. Hello, everyone. All wonderful, Destiny. We'll chat later. Good morning, everyone else who's joining. Karen, Sheila, good morning. Christy, good morning. Megan, good morning. I think I said good morning, Tracy. And so there's just this, like, a lot of that kind of energy that's coming up for us. And to really acknowledge within ourselves what we are witnessing in the world, we're also witnessing within ourselves. So something of that. And then there was also a tornado hit Quebec yesterday, somewhere in Quebec, and that also cost some lives through that, or at least one life. I'm not sure how many, but there's been a lot of things, and there's a lot of people out there right now. Like, over the weekend, several of people who are special to me have lost family members and stuff. So there's a lot of things that we don't see that's happening in the world, that when we think our world is all going back to the way things used to be and it's all wonderful, is that just because the appearance of it, or we may feel like we have that freedom, there's still a lot of things that are at play. And a lot of everybody is in different stories, but we are existing in the same world. So there's a lot of that energy's coming. So we're being told to rest, to pause, to reflect, to really see, the golden nuggets. What did we learn from these experiences? What have we gained from this? Let's extract those moments, or let's extract those experiences and bring that forth and bring that into how we're going to appear and show up in the new world, and not to discount or to forget that there is more to this world and there's more life in this world than us. We are not just it. And there is so much more. And I do believe all the exposure of now, releasing all this UFO stuff, and finally putting out all these documents about the UFOs and all this stuff that we've kind of known to be true. It's a distraction. It's a carrot. And it's a carrot that's being dropped. Oh, we'll give you this so that we can go into a new secret story. So there's a whole lot of things that are at play. And to just know that as we're moving forward, that we have to be more consciously aware of our wholeness, our wholeness as a world, our wholeness together, and to be that collective consciousness type of thing. I'm not into becoming one brain with the rest of the world. Not my gig. And I'm not into thinking like everybody else, having one thought, one view, all liking one side, do one thing. I believe that the collectiveness of it is to be able to have the patience to be healed enough so that we're not operating in trauma response, fear, flight, fawn, to be so quick, to be so responsive to the fact that somebody else may have a different view or a different thought than you, that we're more willing and able to listen to each other, that we've healed enough, that we're healing enough within ourselves, that we can have more patience, kindness, compassion for where people are, for what their experiences are, and to be able to communicate that through. For us to finally be able to emotionally and spiritually mature, and we need the higher energies, the hierarchy that are supposed to be this statue of representation, to also become mature and really, stop the personal vendettas and the personal fights and the dislikes and I'm going to call this as it is. I remember watching a few years ago, and I'm not that political to either party because I'm a middle road kind of girl. But I remember watching this event, this dinner, where at the dinner, these people dressed and having these big professional conversations, who's running our worlds, started to poke the bear and started to make fun of somebody who would have become the next president of the United States. And they say, "Oh, really? You never see that happen?" And that provoked that bear. And it was all the immaturity that happens when when we are not being aware or conscious of our words, our actions, our thoughts, and our own behavior. And it's time for us to be aware of our own behavior, our own actions, and to allow ourselves to grow beyond what we have observed, witnessed, and experienced in these past few years within this life, and to be able to grow beyond that, because it is our unseen wounds. It's our unseen wounds that is truly hiding the best of us, but has also taken the best people into the worst energy, and have had, some of the best people show their worst side and become not good people. So beautiful has become ugly, and it's time for us to bring beauty back into the world, to see the beauty, and for us to learn from our elders, to learn from those who've walked before us. And I know what my ancestors are doing to me, because they keep talking about the little people, and we are the little people. We are the everyday people. I'm going to be. Oh, Christy, it's not that scary. You're not the only being. We're not the only things that are here. Trust me. In all of my work, I can tell you what I would have said 6 years ago, and I would have said, I don't believe in that. There's no way. I have seen shit in the past few years that just blows my mind. And this is the card that I did on TikTok yesterday. And the message was kind of nothing as I had thought. And it's back up today. And it's the eye of the beholder and his queenie. And it's about dignity. It's really about the power of respect. Dignity comes in from from that middle. It comes from the heart center. It comes from our higher heart. It comes from our higher consciousness. It comes from the place of crossing over from our lower vibrating energy to not let our emotions and our emotional connection and investment into the past to be dictating how we perceive the world and people who exist within our world today. And so if you've known someone who's done something that has been wrong, and then you see somebody else do something similar, but you were a personal victim to the person of the past, well, you can't connect that same story to that energy because you don't know the whole story that's in this story. So everyone walks in a different path, a different shoes. Like we all have similarities, but something is different. And so our emotional connections to past history cannot be what dictates and decides our future. And if we got a personal hurt against somebody and we turn a personal vendetta into a destruction, into dehumanizing another human, and we keep dehumanizing other humans, and we keep doing this over and over, we've caused a whole bunch of human mouths and words and actions becoming like a weapon towards another human that you don't have, and that you're not showing dignity to another human. Respect is earned, there's no doubt, but to be able to know that if you are the cause behind somebody having their lives destroyed, having all of everything gone that they've ever had, leaving them with absolutely nothing just to be able to say you were right, then there is something seriously wrong within, that you could sit home and be happy that you just destroyed the life of somebody else. And that's kind of what we have witnessed and experienced in this world, and we're seeing it firsthand, and the world has been freaking applauding it. We have to stop applauding bad behavior. We have to stop and think. The next generations are watching, observing, and witnessing the behaviors and the actions that are happening. And it's time for us to be the change that we want to see in this world, which means we be kind to ourselves. We take the time to pause, to reflect. And who do we need to step ourselves back out in this world? And how do we want to be seen? And how do we want to be known? And what kind of legacy do we want to live? And not wait to die to leave our legacies. What legacy do we want to live? I want to live one through the eye of the beholder, that I could be walking in my truth, walking in love and light, and to be the light worker, and to not to be remembered to be liked or to be loved, but with integrity. That my integrity is in check, that I have shown dignity towards humanity, and that I haven't dehumanized, discounted the rest of the world. And so this wholeness is not one brain, one mind, one thought. It is wholeness, is that we can coexist in a world where we can all be a little bit different. But yes, the world is much bigger than we thought, or what we may have thought, and the world is not limited. And the more that you limit your thoughts and try to control everything, is that you may be keeping yourself from the most beautiful life that is there for you. That's your message of today. I do have to go. I have a client. I have to work. Thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for being here every day. Thank you for watching. I'm taking more stuff down to the